How to learn anything. There are 4 stages to learning that are vitally important to know. Knowing where you are within the stages can help you radically reduce anxiety, stop you from quitting too early, minimize frustrations and negative self-talk, and even reduce anger and disappointment. Every day, thousands of people give up on what's important to them, forming negative beliefs about how good they are far too early within the 4 learning stages. We will explain why that is a little later in this video. Let's begin. Stage 1, unconscious incompetence, which simply means you are not yet aware of your lack of ability at something. The saying, "you don't know what you don't know," applies to this stage. Take driving a car for example. When we are young, we start off in life not even knowing that cars exist, and we don't even care or have the desire to drive because we don't know what a car is. We are completely unaware. The same is true for any skill at all, from wanting to reduce your handicap in golf to learning how to add a few extra kilometers on your tennis serve. We carry on in our lives unaware that there could be a better way from getting from point A to point B. Back to the car example. At some point in our life, we see people driving cars and we notice how much fun they are having and how quickly they can get to where they want to go. Our desire to drive a car starts to build up within us, and we realize that we don't have the skills we need. Stage 2, conscious incompetence. So now that you want to drive, you book your first lesson in and off you go, learning to navigate all the many aspects that require you to drive. You manage to make it home safely, even though your teacher is a little shaken up. You still completed your first driving experience. Congratulations. During your driving practice, you became aware of the important aspects involved in driving safely, adjusting your seat and mirrors before starting, judging the distance required to stop correctly, altering the speed you travel around sharp corners, and so on. You have started to become aware of what you don't know in driving. You experienced what it's like to have to focus on many things at the same time while still navigating your vehicle safely. You have become conscious of your incompetence, and you are clearly aware that you have more practice to do before you get any good at driving. A positive attitude towards learning will really help you move through this stage. In fact, when we choose to embrace learning as a way of life, we join the company of some of the well-known champions. In the words of Carl Lewis, it's about the journey, not the destination. Stage 3, conscious competence. Well done, you've made it. You can now drive a car quite well. Sure, you still need to focus your attention on the many aspects of driving, but you are now much better and way more confident. Even your driving teacher is starting to feel more relaxed. In stage 3, you are beginning to notice all the improvements you have made in your learning journey so far. How long you spend in this stage will depend on what you are learning and how masterful you wish to become. As an average, according to best-selling author Malcolm Gladwell, we require a minimum of 10,000 hours to get really good at something. However, we understand that may vary depending on how advanced you want to go. For example, holding a decent tennis rally, let's say 120 hours. Playing competitive strong tennis, let's say 3,200 hours. Playing on the world circuit as a professional, over 15,000 hours. Each level of mastery requires different hours, and this also depends on how effective you are at learning from the feedback your mistakes and failures are providing you along the way. Stage 4, unconscious competence. You have finally arrived at the final stage, which now means all the areas you are focusing on learning in stages 2 and 3 have become automatic. You no longer need to think about them. It is all just flowing now. You put your seatbelt on without even thinking. You check your mirrors as you change lanes every time without the need to remind yourself, like you once did in the earlier stages. You are now unconsciously competent and on autopilot, making what you do look easy. Let's jump back to the original question. Why do people form negative beliefs about themselves far too early in the learning stages and end up quitting the things they really want to learn? The answer is expectations. When your experience does not match your expectations, you will become frustrated and may start to believe you're not very good at something. Remember our friend the researcher who proved we were twice as motivated to move away from pain as we are motivated to move towards pleasure? The pain we feel from not meeting our personal expectations around how fast we should move through the 4 stages can negatively affect our desire to continue learning. We have identified 3 powerful tips that are important to know. Tip number 1, be a lifelong learner like the great Michelangelo, who at age 87 said, "I am still learning." Tip number 2, take Albert Einstein's advice. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And tip number 3, know where you are at in the 4 stages so you can encourage yourself along the way in your learning journey. Congratulations, you have completed your overview on the 4 stages of learning. I'm John Harvey, and I thank you for watching.